What is going on, OKC fans? Welcome to another post-game show. OKC takes down the Grizzlies 114-100. Ja Morant does not have us figured out. I think that was pretty clear. He doesn't have himself figured out as he shot 3 for 18 from the field today. So, who would like to start with Ja Morant first? Give your thoughts on some. Let's start with the Grizzlies and the excellent game that they had. So, let's go with Joe first. Joe, I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Yeah. So before I get to the Grizzlies, I'll get it right after. I just want to shout out our squad real quick. Shai, 35, 7, and 6 on 50%. Some big-time threes down the stretch. Pretty sexy, I'm not going to lie. AJ Mitchell, 21.6 rebounds, 4 assists. This kid is just unbelievable. In the beginning of the year, we're like, okay, he's had a few good games. He's had a good game every game of the year so far, so he's here to stay for sure. Hartenstein continues his dominance, 18 and 13. And then Chet with 21 and 7. He pretty much dominated the whole paint. And his turnaround fadeaway jump shots are looking really clean, especially over smaller defenders. When we get those mismatches, it's really good to see him take full advantage of it because he used to be – he didn't know where to go with the ball. He would get stripped, but now we know he knows exactly what he's doing with it. But yeah, let me get on Memphis real quick. What a shit show. And for them to be talking all that trash that they do to a team that really doesn't talk much shit in OKC, they're a pretty humble team. They really brought it out of us tonight. I'm pretty sure I heard Alex Caruso talking shit to Ja Morant today and then going down the other side of the court and hitting a 3 before the end of the third quarter. I'd like to say thank you to the Memphis Grizzlies because we were playing like absolute trash before they started talking shit. Like I think it's because we kind of wanted to embarrass them in the beginning. Just we could shoot a bunch of threes, we could miss them all, and we could still come back and cover the spread, which was 10.5. Mm-hmm. We covered that tonight. But, yeah, I mean, Memphis just looks absolutely terrible, and I'm really happy that we were able to get this dub, especially with Shai. He played 35 minutes, but it wasn't, not too much effort went into it at all.
No, I mean, not even a little bit. One thing I wanted to mention with Ja, minus 23 on the game, which was, in fact, the lowest of the entire team. Yet he played the most minutes of any player. I mean, I know that kind of adds up considering he's on the court the most, but, I mean, just not looking good at all. Satvir and I had talked about in the pregame show, kind of mentioning how obviously he's not in the right headspace. He literally said directly to a porter the other day that he doesn't know if he's got the drive right now and if he's going to get it back. That is like aggressively obvious because the shots he's taking are lazy. They're very poor shots. There were multiple times where he just pulled from 5 feet behind the 3-point line because he could. Like it reminds me kind of like the way people talk about LaMelo Ball. Like it's not winning basketball. He's going for highlights. He's going for big plays. It's like he's trying to raise his trade value or something. But 3 for 18 and 2 for 7 from the field from 3 with 5 personal fouls and 3 turnovers. That is insane. So wow, Ja Morant, man, he doesn't have anything figured out.
All right. I got a nice little graphic for us.
Oh no,
17%. He's only made 3 shots the whole game. I mean, come on, man. Like,
oh my God.
What is he doing?
I mean, look at the 3 at the top of there's 3 shots at the top there from 3 that are several feet behind the 3-point line. What are you doing shooting those? And look at how many he misses from the mid range. I mean, that is terrible.
That is terrible, man. I'm really confused as to why he thinks he is. He's been doing it his whole career of trying to step into the mid range. Like if you can barely make 3-point shots, you aren't going to be trying to rely on your mid-range game because you don't have one. So you need to just rely on what's always worked, and that's getting to the basket. And he should probably just stick to what's worked for him. So what do you think, Jack?
He plays like he doesn't give a fuck. Like he's just out there chucking shit up. I don't know, man. He's terrible.
I agree. I think he's checked out of Memphis. I'd be curious to see if he checks back in, if he were to get moved, because obviously he is a decent basketball player, not to our level on OKC side, but he's a good basketball player, and to see him not care at all, he looks extremely flat. When he got subbed out at the end of the game, it looked like he said something to their coach. and the coach looked like he took some type of exception to it. He turned back and looked at him and was like, what? But I don't know. It's a shit show in Memphis, and I couldn't be happier right now. But going back to our team, I mean, I just want to stress the fact that we played, like, again, I'm not joking. We shot 23% from three. We were 10 for 43. We were even worse in the first 2.5, 3 quarters. To play that bad and to still just win by 14 on the road, with obviously half your fucking team out, it just speaks wonders to what this team is going to do down, the main stretch of the NBA season. And I can't wait till we get fully healthy, because we're going to be more dangerous than what we were last year.
This game, with the way the lead tracker shows, it reminds me of like Golden State Warriors, where a team could be just ahead and we're cruising, and even with not even a full healthy roster, like we're just like, okay, now it's time to just pull away with the lead and make it a blowout. So it was.
I think one of the biggest things that I notice, and it's just kind of something that we've caught on throughout the season is it goes on, but the thing that AJ Mitchell brings to this team that's so crazy is we've always had to deal with the non-SGA minutes, and those are so concerning. And AJ Mitchell, I mean, you cannot have a better reliever for SGA right now. I mean, he comes in, he pushes the pace. He's always pushing the defense hard. He's finding the open man. He's knocking down his threes. He's looking to swing to the open man. Like, everything he does is exactly what we need when Shai is not on the court. So, and then when he is on the court, AJ can play right alongside him. So AJ is one of the biggest reasons that the game went the way it did. I mean, he never, when things were getting rough, he stayed consistent the whole game. But all around, just like you were talking about the Golden State Warriors type thing, I mean, just keeping the cool, keeping the composure, taking the shots. I mean, ultimately just shooting way too many threes. Like, I can get into that later, but realizing that that's not our game and going to the paint and looking to play defense and looking to force turnovers is how we get things done. And that's exactly what happened.
I think. Go ahead, Jack. Go ahead.
Just one other point on AJ Mitchell is he's not doing anything flashy at all. He's just simply driving to the basket, laying it in, pump faking, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so simple and just so perfectly executed, and that's why he's going so good, because it's just he's not doing anything too much. So
it's just fundamentally sound. And then when he is asked to shoot a three and he's making them, he went 2 for 3 tonight. On his open threes, he looks super confident in what he does, especially for like a second-year player who is technically, still a rookie because he missed all of last year, right? Pretty much. Him and SGA, he kind of resembles the confidence, the cool, calm, and collectiveness of SGA, which trickles down the roster because of what SGA brings as a leader. And then obviously, I believe J-Dub. AJ talked a lot about J-Dub and how he's been coaching him like off the floor and when he's on the bench. So to have AJ Mitchell, it's just such a delight and a luxury for this team, because you're going to add Aaron Wiggins back. You're going to get Lou Dort back in the starting lineup to guard the best player on the floor every night. You're going to get J-Dub back in there to create fast break opportunities, affect the defensive side of the ball, and obviously our second best ball handler, playmaking type player. Man, I'm just so excited. I do want to touch on one thing on the negative side of the game tonight. And I do believe we were chucking a bunch of threes early just to get the game over with early. I really do think that was kind of the game plan. Like, let's just shoot. If we're missing, continue to shoot until it reached the point where, okay, we're down by a little too much. Let's just go beat them, which is, again, such a luxury to have that, okay, we can go beat them type thing. But the shooting needs to improve, especially out of a few players. I'm just going to mention Caruso not shooting well, 1 for 6, but it's the regular season, so I don't expect anything from Caruso. I'll see him in the playoffs. Jalen Williams, it's time to have the conversation. Like, we were talking about it a little bit. Another 0 for 5 from 3 night. He needs to start making his shots, because if he's not making his shots, he's not really providing anything else right now on the offensive side of the ball. When he's making his shots, it helps him turn into a playmaker a little bit on the offensive side of the ball. And we need him for defense, but he's got to start making his shots. Isaiah Joe, 2 for 7 tonight, made some big shots when we were down. I'm okay with that. And then Cason Wallace, he needs to get back into a groove as well. I want to see Cason get back into like his early rookie year, the way he was shooting the 3 ball, because it was excellent. And if all that happens, this team's going to go on a scary run.
I mean, the other thing to point out as well is like you're talking about with like Isaiah Joe. It's fine when we see him shoot 2 for 7 because his only job on the team is to come in and put up shots. Like that's his job. But people like Jay Will, like, why are you continuing to shoot the 3 ball? Like, it's not falling right now. And a couple of his were wide open, but he had a couple tonight where they weren't necessarily wide open. He was still putting them up or at least looking to. Like, if he's going to make himself useful, we don't have him playing because he's a 3-point sniper. That's not why he's in. Like, he can he can play good defense, which he was playing good defense, and he helps with rebounds. So I just don't understand the urgency to put up all these shots. And then with Cason Wallace as well, I think he's just I have faith in Cason, but he's in a bit of a slump with shooting. I'm not terribly concerned, but the 1 for 7 from 3, I felt like a couple of those were towards the end of the shot clock. He had to put up some rough shots, but yeah, Jay Will, I am a bit concerned.
Yeah, and that's back-to-back games where his only shots or field goal attempts have been threes. 0 for 7 the game before, 0 for 5 this game. So I don't know what's going on with that, but he needs to be taking other shots than just threes, especially at that level.
And he's not a bad scorer. Like, it's not like he can't score. It's just when he's just putting up threes, that's just ridiculous. Like, that's not who he is.
I'd like to interrupt really quick because Satvir got beat to it again. Bradley's in the chat. Bradley said SGA just had his 10th game with at least 30 points in the season, and that was 83 straight 20-point games. And I do believe that I heard on the broadcast that Giannis is second in active 20-point game streak, and it's like 23. So just want to put that out there. This guy's unbelievable, and just respect what you're seeing. Shout out, Bradley. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, I mean, we all know what we're getting from Shai. Like we all understand it, but there was a specific moment towards the end there when both Joe and I were like, man, Shai, like, why are you putting up that 3? And then he just cashes a ridiculous step back and then comes down and just does it again. And we're like, all right, I'll just shut the hell up. Like, it just makes you feel so stupid because it's what he does. Like, you don't question when he puts shots up like that in that scenario. And he got us in this. He kept us in this game as well. I mean, there was a reason that we came back, and obviously the 35, 7, and 6, he's doing a little bit of everything. And just playing the game to his pace, I mean, once again, we know what we're going to hear about this game from him, from the media, but every time that he got fouled tonight, it's because he was trying to stop the pace and get him to slow down and forcing them to foul. And that's literally, that is the correct basketball, like high IQ decision, is to slow down how hard they're pushing, slow down the speed and get to the line. And that is what it was happening. He wasn't looking to get to the line, but when he's pushing that hard, they can't do anything but foul him. So that was one thing that I wanted to point out. But one other thing I want to say, Satvir and I mentioned in the pregame that either Chet or Hart were going to have a good game because no Zach Edey. Both of them just absolutely ate up. I mean, this was what we wanted to see from our bigs. Both of them taking advantage of playing in the paint. We saw multiple big-to-big action, the alley-oops, the high passes, just taking advantage of really having the paint and no Edey in. So that's what you want to see. I mean, Chet was doing, like you mentioned tonight, Joe, he was hitting those fadeaways, but he's also just playing aggressively enough in the paint where it's like, this is what we want to see from Chet. It's not just putting up threes. It's not just trying to get these like cheap backdoor cuts or whatever. No, he was fighting. He was putting up shots in the paint. And then Hart, what else is there to say? I mean, the guy is proving why OKC fans love him. I mean, 18 and 13 is just dominant.
Hashtag keep Hartenstein. I want to throw it over to Satvir because Gabe mentioned something that we stressed on a lot during the playoffs, which we were like freaking out every night because Shai takes those 3-point shots late in the game. But Satvir, we decided a long time ago that you're going to live with it. No matter what he does, you're going to live with it. And 99% of the time, it's going to work out in our favor. What were you thinking of tonight when, we were up by like 8 points, but he was just doing anything he wanted behind that 3-point arc in the last like 5 minutes of the game?
Yeah. I do want to mention something. We've won 14 straight wins over Memphis, including the playoffs. And we still have to hear from their fan base, from their own players. I think it's just gotten a little bit ridiculous as far as dominance from our players 3-point wise. One thing I wanted to mention, I had the graphic up. I'm going to actually pull it back up. Let me go ahead and do that for us real quick. Something I want to show you guys in terms of the stats. So it may not be as obvious, but something that AJ Mitchell is helping us win games on is we already know, if we shoot poorly on the 3-point percentage, we'll still win games. But something that's unique to me that I was worried about last year and in the playoffs was I always mentioned the assists to point ratio or whatever. And we're not averaging that many assists when it comes to, mainly it's Shai. And we're still winning games because of the supplemental scoring of AJ. So if he continues to keep that up, it's really, really hard to beat us, because that was a big issue, was the minutes without Shai. But now that we have AJ, I don't even get concerned if we're not getting that many assists off as a team, because Shai's going to get his 35 regardless.
Right.
So it's kind of getting scary out there for teams, because before it was like, oh, we're getting Topic and he'll be the guy that's kind of the lead backup and bring a lot of assists and stuff. And now it's definitely not the case with this situation. So I think we have a whole different dynamic with this team. And honestly, I think we're really unstoppable. So just had to mention that out there for anyone watching.
Absolutely. We're about halfway through our live for today. I'm going to stop us really quick because it is time for everybody's favorite winning segment. If you're new to the show, halfway through every live, our friend Jack here at the Thunder Coverage, go hit him up on Instagram, wears a different OKC jersey after every win. He doesn't tell anybody on the panel what he's wearing. It is our job and you guys in the comments job to figure out what he's wearing. Everybody in the comments, if you're watching along with us, drop names like we got. Yep, here we go. Guess in the comments. Thought that was a comment already. But I'm going to kick it to Satvir first.
That jersey. Oh, man. I see it. Is it Dennis Schroeder?
We got a Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah.
All right, Gabe, go ahead.
I'll let you guys know it's a current player.
Oh, okay. Current player.
You got Bojangles Fries saying Cason. I like that guess. I do like that guess. Go ahead, Gabe.
I'm gonna go with. I think he's throwing us off today. He wants us to think of a current player who played today. So I'm gonna go Aaron Wiggins, who didn't play today.
Yeah. So I like that guess also, because he has been doing who had a good game. And he's been wearing them.
Us off.
I'm trying to remember. I got it right the other night, and I can't even remember what. I think it was Hartenstein. Was it Hartenstein?
Hartenstein. Yeah, it was Hartenstein last night.
So I'm looking at the box score here. Everyone had a pretty good game, and I really don't know what type of jerseys, or I know some of the players he has, but we have a Michael Jordan on the Instagram live. I don't believe it's a Michael Jordan.
It could be.
Could be
custom jersey.
All right, let me shut up and stop talking. I'm going to go with, could be a custom jersey.
Except you said it's a current player.
I'm just going to go with SGA. I'm going with Shai today. Lock it in.
I'm going with Hartenstein since he mentioned current.
Okay. I'm going with SGA. Anyone else in the comments, feel free to drop them down below.
Final guesses.
We're about to lock it in now.
It's Aaron.
It is Chet Holmgren.
Oh my god!
But one player, you know what? We got to do better as a panel up here. We got to do better. This is
We're
getting
just not delivering. We're not delivering, man. It's really disappointing.
I'm playing you guys.
He is playing us. That's crazy.
The mind games are getting. Jack's got us, man.
They are. The first thing I started doing was breaking down the last time we did this.
Yeah, it's starting to piss me off a little bit. We're gonna have to figure that out. Let's talk about one thing here, and I'm gonna let you guys all answer this individually. I know we're completely drained on the bench. Like half of our bench is starting. Cason Wallace, AJ Mitchell. They're both gonna be coming off the bench when Lou and Dub are fully healthy, and they're playing outstanding. But that leaves us with Isaiah Joe, Caruso, Jalen Williams, Ooze, and Barnheiser, because Aaron Wiggins is also out. Jack, I'm going to start with you, and then we'll go to Gabe, and then obviously Satvir. This bench only scored 13 points today, and obviously we played the Memphis Grizzlies, and we don't respect them on this podcast. That's just not what we do. Is that a concern moving forward? Because I know we're going to be without those guys for a little while now, and we got some big games coming up this week.
I'm not too concerned, to be honest. I think, like, the guys who are scoring right now, like AJ Mitchell, 20 points, he's normally on the bench, like you said. So we know we're short-handed, and we're playing Usman Jang, Chris Youngblood, and Brooks Barnheiser. So I'm not really expecting that much production off the bench, especially with the players we're bringing off the bench, like Alex Caruso. We're not expecting production from him. Jalen Williams hasn't been great. So then you're kind of left with Isaiah Joe, and he's not really going to score that much himself. So I'm not too worried about it. I mean, this whole season so far, we've just been saying, wait till we get healthy. All these problems will fix themselves. So I'm just going to wait for that.
Yeah. You want to go, Jeff?
Really quick. I just want to touch on Texans' comment. I believe who answered this before. If you just want to repeat, I think it might have been Gabe or Satvir.
Satvir.
It was me. It's been 14 games, playoffs included.
14 games. It's a pretty long time. All right, go ahead, Gabe. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Jack makes good points. We don't have to worry about AJ being in the starting lineup. Same with Cason. I mean, both of them are going to bring it off the bench. But the thing that kind of really at least reassures me is I really think the offensive production that we're going to get when J-Dub comes back cannot be underestimated. I think it's going to provide a lot of that extra scoring. And the biggest thing is just making the most out of those non-SGA minutes. And like I mentioned earlier, that is exactly what I think is going to happen with the way that AJ's been playing. I mean, AJ does everything that we need him to do in just long enough. And I trust Cason enough to find a shot. I trust Joe. Joe's here to hit his threes, at least with the amount of players that we have. Like, I agree that we're not expecting high percentage shooting and high volume from Caruso in terms of points, but with all the players that we have on the bench, I have enough faith in a combination of them doing enough when SGA is off the court. And then as soon as he's back on the court, you get SGA back, you get J-Dub back. J-Dub can also work in those non-SGA minutes as well as Chet. I mean, this team is too good to be concerned about that. And we've always talked about how deep we are. And I don't have any concern about that just because today's game didn't go the way that it normally would have with those points.
Yeah. What I'll add to the conversation about the bench is when you move, bench level guys back to the bench, they face other bench level talent, and our bench is much better than other teams. So when the depth is kind of back to what it should be, we'll get the proper production out of those guys. So they're not playing as many starter minutes at, spot times, I guess, in each of the quarters. So I think the bench production will come in handy. And usually when we do have like J-Dub back, I think he's a big X factor for us. Like, we'll usually see like one of the, bench guys like Joe, Caruso, or Wallace kind of step up and have a really good night. And then I would love to see AJ kind of stay in the starting lineup, even when maybe Lu Dort's back, because he's just been totally electric. And I think he deserves the minutes, and he low-key deserves the starting spot at this point, because if he's going to be putting up numbers like this against starters, he might as well start. So.
Yeah, I like that point. I guess that kind of transitions us quite well to this comment. Really quick, get my face back up on the screen. But before we do touch on this comment, we love all of you guys commenting in our comment section. We're going to get to as many as we can. If you want priority comments, we do have our memberships down on our YouTube channel. You could go join, go check that out. You'll see all the perks that come with it. It's also posted on our Instagram page. We have all the subscriptions right there. So if you guys want to go check that out, thank you. And let's continue here. Tyler on YouTube goes, trade ideas this year. And for me, I don't love this question because we're 10-1. But Satvir, I guess you have to start now, because if AJ Mitchell is going to be a starter, which I don't necessarily agree with, but someone's got to be moved, because Lu Dort's not coming off the bench.
All right, I will take this first, because I do know the cap, and I do know the Twitter timeline has been, that's all that they've been talking about. Oh, we got to move Hartenstein. Oh, we got to move Lu Dort. Oh, we got to do this, or we got to do that. Me personally, with the way the team's playing, with the record that we're going to have, with the investment into the new stadium, and the new money that's about to come around in about 2 years, I don't think we should move anyone. Like, if we have to eat luxury tax for 2 years, which is nothing in the NBA, that's honestly just money from billionaires, and I don't think they have any issue losing a couple pennies. So, I think they should just pay everyone at this point, because the roster is what it is. Oh, well, we lose 120-31 frozen pick out of the 30 million that we have. Like, great. Cool, I'll keep Lu Dort for that. Like, and I'm definitely not losing Hartenstein over some picks, because we're not finding better talent at the center position.
Can I cut you off really quick? There is no way this team can lose him. He is so crucial to this team's success. There is a reason why we won the championship last year, and this guy he hasn't even reached his peak yet. He's only getting better. We just watched him drop 33 points, 18 rebounds. He comes back with 18 points, 13 rebounds, and his connection with Chet is unbelievable. So no matter what, he needs to stay on this team because we all love him and we need him here.
Yeah, and if we were to move one guy, I guess if I was like push comes to shove, like Lou Dort's the easiest to move off of, but we can also move off of a combination of like Kenrich, Isaiah Joe, Aaron Wiggins, package those guys up, free up 30 million. That's the same as Lou Dort. Like we shouldn't have too much of an issue, and those guys aren't bringing much bench production, in my opinion, anyways. So I know you guys are shaking your head. I'm just giving out options.
Aaron Wiggins isn't.
No. I'm not shaking my head at that. Don't worry.
Hey, I'm just giving out some options, but if it's up to me, I'm just paying everyone and extending everyone, and it's pennies to the dollar when it comes to the owners. So
I mean, there was a time where almost a year ago, probably more than a year ago, where everyone in the NBA was like kind of freaking out, saying that we like significantly overpaid Isaiah Hartenstein. I mean, genuine like panic that he was overpaid, except Thunder fans who remained cool and realized that Sam Presti knows what he's doing. And here we are, Sam Presti clearly knows what he's doing. As look what's happened. Look at the way this team's, I mean, it's just everything with Hartenstein and the way that the contract that he's on for us. If that's considered an overpay, then so be it. Like overpay him more. Like the thing he brings to this team is just absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, if you're moving players, I mean, he's essentially untouchable in terms of what we've given him for a contract and what he brings to this team. I don't think it's really worth trading anybody either. I agree with Satvir. I mean, other than packaging picks and trading for Giannis. No, I'm joking. But seriously, there's just nothing that you need to do. Like this team doesn't need changes. The only thing I can see an argument for is trying to get a higher 3-point shooter, a higher volume shooter. Someone like, I mean, there's players like Cam Johnson who can shoot more efficiently. But I mean, we don't
number one pick coming up in the upcoming draft via the Clippers.
Yeah.
So we'll be fine on the.
That's what I'm saying. Right. I'm not saying we should trade. I'm saying if you're going to argue, that's probably the best argument there is. But we don't need to do that. Like, there's no need to do any of this.
Really quick, I just want to shout out JMA721 on YouTube for the dono. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate all of you guys watching. We love you guys, and we're having a blast up here. We're going to continue for as long as you guys want. You guys are here. You guys are dropping comments. We're going to get to all of these. So, Jack, continue.
Satvir, you just mentioned about the draft, and that's my biggest argument for trade because we might be getting 3 high first-round picks this year, which means you'd probably package them, trade up if you can, or at least draft one solid rookie. And that trend is going to continue the next couple of years. I mean, obviously Sorba is injured, but every year for the next 3 or 4 years, we're going to have a decent first-round pick. I mean, we're going to have a decent draft pick as long as Sam Presti is making a choice, but eventually you have to pay those guys and they need roster spots. So what are you going to do when you land like a top 15 pick, but you don't want to trade a player? What are you going to do with the pick? You can continue cycling them into the future, but eventually we're going to have to trade someone and keep regenerating the system from young guys.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's what I think.
We'll continue to do so. I mean, we're already having such a good blend. I think Sorber is going to be good for us when he gets healthy. We love Tope, wishing him a speedy recovery, but he's part of that group as well. Barnheiser looks solid, and they're just going to keep coming in, coming out. I mean, we make a few trades. We dump a few picks for a player that we can rotate if we need a body. But as we all know on this podcast, as we love to say, we're just going to trust Sam Presti and let him figure it out. I love this one by Dak Daddy 3057 on YouTube. He said, what about Morant being on the block? Get his ass out of Memphis. Actually, I'm going to let you guys go, but keep his ass in Memphis. I hate that guy right now.
keep him in Memphis. Let him suffer at this point because honestly, the way he's playing, he's trying to be traded by like the deadline or at least in the summer. It doesn't seem like he has interest in playing and specifically playing in Memphis any longer with the way he's playing. And I think I can understand from his perspective, like the organization hasn't really provided maybe the proper PR support that he needed. They didn't really protect him or do him any favors. So I don't think he's returning any back to them. So if we're going to talk about any players on the block, by the way, I'm glad we circled back over to Ja Morant because players are not going anywhere. The only person that is on the block is Ja out there. So
the thing that's going to be hard, the thing that's going to be hard with Ja being on the market is I mean, seriously, like what team is actually interested in trading what the Grizzlies are going to ask for him? Because he's proven to have significant off-court issues. He's now proven to be inconsistent on the court. He can't knock his shots down. He can't get anything done on the offensive end. And he's never been some phenomenal defender unless it's for a highlight block. So it's a concern. Like, I'll play a little bit of the devil's advocate here. I've always liked Ja until the whole fiasco. That was disappointing, but I've liked Ja enough as a player. So this is kind of like, this is disappointing for me because like I want to see him succeed. And I do think that he's a good player. And I like the battle between him and Zion, but it's not looking good for Ja. It's just not like, unless he's going to seriously sit down and reevaluate how much he wants to be playing basketball, I don't see him getting any better. I don't see the situation getting any better for him. I see this turning into a situation where he's just stuck on Memphis for 90% of his career. Just like most of his career. I can just see that being a serious problem. So if he gets stuck on that team, he's going to end up being one of those players that we always talk about as, you know, oh yeah, he was pretty good. You know, he averaged 24 his whole career, didn't do anything, never got close to winning MVP, never made a playoff push, that's what he's stuck at. And I saw one team that's interested in him is Minnesota. And I don't hate the concept. You know, my issue is you're going to clog the paint. Him and two of the most athletic guards next to each other. That's going to be difficult, but Ant's a good enough shooter. But still, it's something that concerns me, at least for his future, is unless he starts trying harder and making his stats look better and acting more positive, no one's going to trade for him. Right. So he's on the block, but everyone's afraid, and no one wants that.
There's not much of a market, kind of like when we were talking about Zach LaVine the other day. What's up, Sam? How you doing, bro? Good to hear from you. Comment more. We want to hear from all of you guys. What else we got? There we go. What do you think the Thunder's biggest problem this year is? Again, from Dak Daddy, 3057. I'm going to start with this one. I think it's Denver. I have been watching Denver. Denver looks great. They're still trying to filter in Cam Johnson, which they will. He's played in a similar system that Denver likes to play in Phoenix before he went to Brooklyn. I think they're extremely deep. I think they have a great backup big in Valanciunas. I believe they have the second best player in the NBA in Jokic. They're a fantastic team, and we're going to have to be locked and loaded and fully healthy to beat them in a playoff series. I'll tell you that.
Absolutely. There was something I kind of wanted to ask you guys, and I'll let you guys start. Joe, you can go first on this one. But so we kind of saw today that slower, maybe like not the most initiative towards the second quarter, where we were just kind of letting things fly still. I mean, we were losing by a pretty good amount, and we were just still letting things fly. That's not going to work against a team that's like Denver. So is there any sort of concern that you guys have with the lack of maybe urgency when it comes to being down big, or do you like the concept of just trying to ride it out? Because I like writing it out, but when you play a really good team and you try to ride it out and now the third quarter is almost over and it's not come around, shit hits the fan and you start panicking. So what are your thoughts on that, Joe, in terms of the pace?
Yeah, sorry, I got a little distracted in the chat there, but
you're good.
I think we're going to start much better when we're fully healthy, and I hate starting that way. We were going back and forth. We were frustrated, especially to start that slow against a team like Memphis. I think this team realized coasting in the regular season against certain teams is a thing you could do. I don't want to see them do that against the big teams. Like we play the Lakers and the Warriors this week. I'd like to start fast and finish fast and just kill them throughout the whole game. I think this team is smart enough to be prepared for a team like Denver, especially when it gets to, like a playoff series. I think we showed that last year because we did have some of these games last year too. Like we were coasting last year during the regular season. We had that miserable game against Minnesota at home where we gave up like a 25-point lead. And we all hated that, but this team will be prepared. And for now, I don't have a problem with it, but they better be, up for the challenge when it does come. And I do believe our first game against them is in like February, which is a disgrace, by the way.
Right. Bass Baits Fishing. Thank you, man, for the comment. That's very nice of you. But Jack, what are your thoughts on the pacing?
Well, especially to start the games, like Joe was saying, I think tonight we started, was it Hartenstein back-to-back dunks, so that puts some pressure on the paint. and then all of a sudden the paint's collapsed, and then we're kicking out to 3-point shooters, and then we're not making the threes. So I think that's the only hurdle in our starts is if we can't hit the threes, then they just pack the paint. And we started the game 3 for 18 from 3, and I think 18 out of our first 35 shots were threes. So it just kind of spirals out of control. But when you have someone like Joe or Shai who can make threes, I think it's really, really valuable. And obviously, like you said, when J-Dub gets back, we'll have no issues at all. Like, this team is going to be insane, fully healthy. And I sound like a broken record saying that again and again, but it's so true.
I'll say we're only saying it because it's true. Satvir, what do you think?
As far as pacing, I think you guys have covered everything. Also, we got Thunder legend Bass Bites Fishing. It looks like in the chat. I got distracted a little bit. But I think pacing wise, we're doing fine. Once J-Dub's back, I think we'll kind of find our stride a little bit better in terms of that. Defensively, also, I want us to tighten up. I think the one guy I'm kind of shocked by for the season so far has been Chet. That's the one guy I want kind of to step up a little bit more on the defensive end. I think offensively, he's been, I guess, stepping up a little bit better in terms of what he wants to do. And I think he's definitely figured himself out on that end. But I'd like to see kind of bigger block games by Chet. He started out the season decently, but kind of for the expectation that I have for him, I think that'll help with our transition game a lot, getting those blocks in. So,
yeah, fair enough. I definitely think Chet looked good today, but I agree with you for sure. Definitely a big area for us to kind of see how the season goes.
We'll get to another comment real quick, and then I want to bring up looking forward. Do you guys think the Thunder will repeat? We'll go down the line. Let's make this quick. I'm going to go with yes right now.
Yes, the Thunder are repeating.
I mean, we're not real fans if we don't say yes, so absolutely.
Yeah, we've definitely got all the tools, all the players. We're even better, like Shai mentioned in the comments of like how like last year's playoffs, especially the finals went and how it felt in terms of the win. And he knew there was another level to it. And we all knew that as well. We didn't play as well in the playoffs as we did in the regular season. And for him to say that, and then the team kind of, always being gunned down in terms of other teams coming after us, I think for us to be 10-1 right now and having the injuries that we have, like this is just, it keeps, surprising me. So
yeah,
super excited.
Well, something that we kept saying during the Nuggets series when we were dropping some games was, man, they just have that experience over us. We're just younger. Well, now we have the best version of experiences. We just won the finals in Game 7. So it doesn't get bigger than that. It doesn't get more intense than that. And we're coming off a season where Shai just had a historic guard season. He won MVP, won the scoring title, wins finals MVP. We win the finals in 7. We take down a Nuggets team that is more than worthy to be a championship contender. And then we take down that Pacers team was absolutely there for a reason. They didn't just get lucky. They were there for a reason. So we took down some tough teams, and that is experience, So we go into this season with that experience on our belt now. We can't just say, well, we're young. We are young, but we're experienced now. And that's something that is so very rare, is seeing a team that's young and experienced. And that's why I think we are going to run it back.
Yeah, absolutely agree. All right, let's look forward really quick before we end up here. Tuesday, home against the Warriors at 7 p.m. Central. I don't know who's going to be playing for the Warriors. They've had several guys out. I actually don't even know who's going to be playing for us. We're just throwing guys on the court and winning games. Really quick, I don't want to touch on it too much because we are going to do our game preview Tuesday morning. But thoughts on, finally getting back home and taking on the challenge that is the Warriors?
It's nice to get home. It's really annoying that it's the start of a back-to-back immediately as soon as we're home. But Golden State gives us a good game. They always do. It's always a good challenge. It's going to come down to, I know we're sitting here saying that Shai can win with anybody, but I do think it's going to come down to who's playing and who's not. If Curry's playing, because I believe he's sick right now, I think he's dealing with an illness, but if Curry's playing, if Draymond's playing, if Jimmy's playing and they're healthy, they'll give you a good battle. They're a very good team. I do think that they're always going to give us a good game. So I think it'll be a good game, but coming back with a break, getting to be at home, we should take it, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'll go next with this. Between the fan bases of how large the Warriors have gotten over the years, and plus the Lakers in the same 2-day span, it's about to be all-out war between all the social medias, especially with the propaganda pushes from both franchises, with them, one side having Steph Curry, the other having now Luka Doncic, plus the LeBron fans. Like, this is going to be a pretty crazy 2 days back-to-back, and I'm super excited to be live for those fans to join us on here to talk about both of those games, because we always have fun when those two teams, when we get to play them. I think there was a comment earlier, like, who are we kind of, not afraid to play, or, who could be a challenge for us. I think one of the teams is going to be the Lakers this year. They're looking really good. Even with Luka having missed a couple games, he's looking on fire, like he has some revenge to take on the league, and specifically the Mavericks organization. So I think a man on a mission with a bigger purpose right now. I think he'll be someone that's going to be a big force. And then I think, Joe, you mentioned the Nuggets earlier as being a team. I'm actually, kind of surprised by that team as well right now, because the player that they traded for this summer hasn't panned out for them. Like, he's not averaging the best points and, other stats. And then the guy that they traded away, he's having a great season with the Nets. And so I think they still haven't even hit full stride in terms of the Nuggets. So we've got some good competition out west. And I think this is probably one of the, past 2 or 3 seasons of being, in the Western Conference. This is the toughest conference. And then we also had some comments earlier mentioning Wemby. I mean, it's just getting scary out here. I think Fox just returned.
He had a good game too.
Yeah, he had a good game as well. So it's looking like a lot of fun challenges. And I actually prefer that for the Thunder. Like, if we can beat out all those teams and still win a championship, I think that'll say a lot about the team. And then specifically the Shai commentary is going to get ruthless next season for everyone watching, by the way, because
already ruthless.
In this type of Western Conference, you guys will never hear the end of it, specifically from Gabe. So
yeah,
I can't wait for this back-to-back, especially if we are injured, just to see some of our guys go against some, let's say, harder competition. Like, I'd love to see AJ Mitchell out there against Steph Curry, seeing how they do, and it'll be great experience for them, especially when we get to the playoffs. So win or lose, I think it's because we know we're unhealthy. So no matter what happens, I think it'll just be a great step forward.
Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm excited to see us play against a tougher competition. I know we're going to be a bit banged up. I know Chet's probably going to miss one of those games. I kind of hope we save him for the Lakers game just so we could beat them. I know our Lakers fans out there are going to be on our ass on Wednesday night or whenever we play them. So I'm excited for that game. I'm just excited to keep it moving. I think we're the best team in the NBA, and I just hope that they play their best ball, and I'm really glad to be back home. And before you close us out, Gabe, I just want to shout out everybody in the chat. You guys have been wonderful. We're so happy to have you here. If you're enjoying the content, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Go check out our subscriptions, our premium subscriptions, all the fun stuff you guys could, get into with us. And then it's also on our Instagram page if you need a reference there. And Gabe, why don't you go and close us out for the evening?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you guys for tuning in. We love the comments, like Joe said. We love getting comments and just being able to talk with you guys. We've said it many times. This is a podcast by fans for fans, and that's never going to change. So thank you guys for tuning into this. We cannot wait to talk to you guys on Tuesday when we take on the Warriors. That'll be a really fun one.
It might. It
sure,
might.
Dad. Yeah.
It definitely can.
If you want, just give me a time and place. Thank you guys. Seriously, we really appreciate it. We appreciate all the comments and whatnot, and we're glad to be here. So thank you guys. And Joe, you wanna say something before we end up?
Yeah. Fuck, I kind of forget what I do. Thunder up, baby! Let's go.
Let's go.